So today, guys, we're looking at an automated sugarcane farm, and the point of that being we need loads of paper to trade for emeralds with the villagers over in our villager trader over that way, as you guys would have seen a couple episodes ago. Now, for those of you who came to my stream, you know it was a bit of a disaster because my internet died halfway through, and we were making an iron farm, which is what's going on up here. So what I'm going to do is actually hop into spectator mode and talk you through this iron farm and explain why I'm not actually doing a video tutorial on it. So here is the iron farm that we're using, guys. Now, this design is by WATTLES. I copied his design for this after trying two that didn't work. I'll put a link to his video down in the description. But yeah, basically it took me a long time to make an iron farm because I had to make three. Right here you can see how we got the villagers from our breeder that we made in a previous episode up on the minecarts across here like this. And this is how the system works. So just a couple of things to sort of mention about this farm. We got obviously the 4 villagers in there. They can be any profession, so I just used composters because I had a few of those. The golems will spawn up here, fall down there and die, and all the drops currently being collected in this chest here. What I've done is made a platform here. This is where the sugarcane farm is going to go, and maybe a couple of other farms, so we can AFK on this platform and have all kinds of things going on in the area. That's sort of the plan. If we open up this chest, you'll see this is how much iron we got. This was overnight, guys, so probably about 8 to 10 hours worth there. So it's a really efficient farm. Now, if you have problems with golems spawning, like right now it seems like I might need to reset the farm. I've had to do this a couple of times. Basically, all you need to do is go down here and block the line of sight between the zombie and the villagers by placing blocks on these 4 blocks here around the zombie, right, like this. And then what you need to do is let the villagers sleep, so they need to all get into their beds. Then sleep yourself to turn it back to daytime, go back up and remove those blocks, and that will then work. So just a little troubleshoot for that iron farm, say tutorial in the description of Wattles if you want to build that. But for today, let's get on with what we're doing, which is our automatic sugarcane farm. So we're going to start by looking at the materials you need to actually build this thing. So don't worry about this bottom section here, this is just my gear. It's kind of the top stuff here that you want to be looking at, and this is to build it in survival where things like scaffolding are necessary, and also you want water buckets, so you've got the water sources and that sort of thing. Obviously with 2 you can make a water source, so you've got infinite. And really it depends how much sugarcane you want. So I'm going to be making this with 64 sugarcane. You may want to just have 8, and then as they grow, obviously you can just harvest those 8. I want a lot of this, so that's why I'm doing that. What I'll do is down in the comments, I'll pin a comment that tells you the materials you need to make just 8, and then obviously you can scale it however you want. So what we're going to do is walk up here. Now this is going to be my storage system, incidentally, so you do need chests and hoppers for that, and again, it depends how much storage you want. I've just got the 4 double chests there. So what we're going to have here is the sugarcane growing, being harvested and being collected in here. So this right here is going to be our collection chamber where water is going to go across, and that means that there will be block number 8. So then we can have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, just like this, and this is our water tray, as I say. Now the blocks that you place around this are kind of up to you. I thought doing it out of glass would be quite nice, so that's what I'm going to do, and then we can see it all happening. So this, you can imagine, is sort of the front of the machine here. We're going to have glass going all the way up like that. Around the back I'm not so bothered, but I would like to be able to see it happening from the front. So what you want to do is encase this area here. So we'll build the glass along here like this, and again this is where the water is going to flow down, which is why it wants to be encased. Now in terms of the actual sugarcane itself, like where that's going to be growing, essentially it's going to be growing up along here like this. So 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 there, with the 6, 7, 8 along here, and there we go. Now of course for the sugarcane to grow, it also needs to have water. Now because this is a collection chamber, this will not be in place for every single level. So the way we're going to do the water is to come around the back here like this, and we'll place it down on that level there. Now I'm using sandstone just because I have a lot of it. Again, you can use any blocks that you like for your build, do whatever you want to do. So this is going to be the tray of water that fertilizes the ground. Say on this level we could use this water here, but I just want to build it like this so you guys can see what you do when you scale it. So then of course we need to put a little tray around here like this to encapsulate this area. Now what I will do is I'll finish up this episode with a little spectator view of the farm, and I'll go around slowly so you guys are able to sort of have a look around and see it all in action. Of course, if you do get stuck on anything, you have any questions, please do feel free to ask me and I will sort you guys out. Okay, so this is what we've got right now. This is where our water is going to go. I'm actually going to glass off the side here like this as well, and then we'll put sandstone in there. And we'll do the same over here. Obviously, once I get rid of the scaffolding, I'll sort of complete this area to make it look nice. So what we'll do now, we'll just hop down here. We'll get ourselves a little bit of water. That can start going in. And also, we'll start getting our things in place with the observers, the pistons, redstone dust. I'm going to do the sugarcane right at the end. I might just grab it in my inventory for now, but we'll see what's happening with that. Alrighty, so if I can get onto this scaffolding, we can go up here like this, and essentially place water along here like this. Now, you can have flowing water. It will fertilize the land enough to plant sugarcane, even down here. I just prefer to have it without the noise. And also, sometimes if you have a lot of flowing water, you can get a bit of lag. Probably wouldn't be a problem here, but even so, we can have it like that. This here needs to be flowing, of course, because that's where the sugarcane is going to go, and it will all end up in this hopper here and in our storage system just there. Okay, very good. So next up, we want a little temporary block there with a block here like this going across the top of the water. So we'll place them down like this. Here we go. So you now have something that looks a little bit like this. What we need to do now is get the redstone components in place. So next up, what you want to do is place all of the pistons facing in this direction, just like this, with the wooden bit going towards the water there. Then what we want to do is get on top here, and what we'll do is place a block here and a block there. And we can place blocks all along the back of these pistons, because these are going to need to be here permanently anyway. And then standing on there, we can place our observers, but they need to be facing us, so we want to place them like this. There we go. So the red dot should be facing you, or facing the back of the machine, if you like, just like that. Then we'll grab ourselves some redstone dust, run it all the way along the back like this. You'll see it connects up with each of the observers. So if you've done it right, it will look a little bit like this. Now, if we go around the front here, I'll give you guys a little demonstration. I just want to block this water off so that we don't lose any sugarcane for a second. But if I place down a block here and a block here, when the sugarcane grows to this height, you'll see there all of the pistons activate. Now, what that does mean is it's most efficient, because if a sugarcane's only got to here, you might have a few of them that have only got to the level of 2. When the third one grows on any one of these 8, it'll be activated, and you'll get the sugarcane as quickly as is possible. So that is essentially how we do this stage. I'm going to go and have a sleep to turn it to daytime, and then when I come back, I'll show you how to stack this if that's what you want to do, like I'm doing. Alrighty, so if we're going to stack this design, what we need to do is go and get on top of our observers here, place a block there, and then one block there. This was just a temporary block. Basically, these blocks along here are where our next line of sugarcane is going to grow. So we can place all of these along here like this. There we go. And the water is going to be on top of these right here, but we can block it all in just like this so that it doesn't have any effect on our redstone. Obviously, we don't want all that washing away. So we can box this in on either end and replace the water as we did below. Of course, that will allow sugarcane to actually grow on here, which is somewhat important for this farm, of course. So place one down there and then one every other one to get it all the way along. Okay, very good. So that's where that's going to go, and now it's just the same process as before, essentially. I'll build another one while we're here on camera, but we're just doing the same process as below. So we encase this just like this here. The next thing being, we want the pistons going all the way along the front like that. And of course the wooden bit facing inwards again, so it pushes it off the edge. And this time when it pushes the sugarcane off the edge, it's going to fall down there. Now eventually we do want to encase all this in along the front. As I said, I'm going to do mine with glass. You can do yours however you like, but it's important to make a note of that, because otherwise sugarcane could fall off and will of course be lost. So once the pistons are in place there, we can do the same again. A temporary block here and blocks all along the back of these pistons, because they're going to be needed there at some point anyway. We can then place our observers here along the front, just like this, facing towards the back, of course, with the red dot facing us. And we connect it all up with redstone, and we are good to go again. So really, it's pretty simple and quick to build. It really is. That's another level done. We're good to go. And once sugarcane grows up, it's going to have the exact same thing. Now, I did test to make sure that sugarcane could grow even when there's a block on the third thing there, and yes, it can. Just to note, I am, of course, in Java Edition, so if you're in a different edition, you may want to just double check that that works first before building this. What I'm going to do now is stack this as high as I want it to go, which is pretty high, actually. But once that's done, then I'll show you the full thing, and I say we'll have a slow-mo look around in spectator mode, and hopefully that'll cover any questions you may have at this stage, so you can build this sugarcane farm yourself in your own survival worlds. So when the farm is all complete, guys, you'll have something that looks a little bit like this. Now you can see here I've stacked mine up 8 levels, so quite a big stack. It's a whole stack of wheat, of course, and 64 dirt and a lot of observers and all that sort of stuff. But really the materials aren't that bad. You're just looking at a little bit of dirt and redstone and stuff like that. I did put a roof up here to make sure that no mobs can spawn using the half slabs. I also thought it kind of looked nice as well, because it looked a little bit weird without it. But yeah, this is definitely a good thing to do, guys, in your worlds. to have your AFK farms in the same sort of area. So right now at the moment I can AFK on this platform, I can get tons of iron overnight, I can get tons of sugarcane overnight, which for me is basically emeralds. So this is essentially printing emeralds right here. But yeah, so that's how the system works, that's how it looks when it's all done. Of course you can build as many or as few as these levels as you want to do. And again, if you go down to the pinned comments, you'll see a materials list to build one of these levels, which is of course 8 wide. Again, you could actually make this wider if you wanted. It doesn't necessarily have to be 8. I just like to do things in 8s in Minecraft because it generally works out quite well. But that is how the system works, guys. Just a very quick side note, guys, something I forgot to mention in the tutorial video. Please do make sure that you light your farm up. I did get some mobs spawning in here, so it's definitely good to have it lit up for that reason alone. So you can see I've added these glowstone. Be sure to light the farm up in whatever way it suits you guys. Just a quick aside to make sure that you don't make the same mistake that I did, basically. So there we have it, guys. Another episode draws to a close. Today we obviously did our sugarcane farm and also mentioned the iron farm. Link in the description if you want to see a tutorial on that. Again, not my design, but thank you to Wattles because that is an awesome design. And he is an awesome YouTuber, so a little shout out to him there. But yeah, that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I did everything I wanted to do. Join me in the next episode when we'll be fighting the Wither, and I'll actually show you how to do it in a way that means you will not get hurt, so that's pretty cool. But that's it for this one, so if you like the episode, guys, please do consider liking and subscribing. It really is greatly appreciated. But for now, that's all. So, as always, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.